Okay, so this video is important for two reasons. One, if you're a massive fan of the Polo, this is sort of the spiritual successor of it all. And second, if you finally want a sub 4 meter SUV, but you still want a European badge, this is the first one you can actually buy. Now this is the new Skoda Kylaq. Now I know it's in a very cool looking camo. The camouflage, the prototype version of the Skoda Kylaq. Now the global unveil, the sort of showcase of the car is going to be on the 6th of November, but we got this early access to sort of drive the car. Now, I've actually seen the car completely undisguised, but sadly I can't tell you anything about it. This is sort of still embargoed, so we can't show the inside of the car, but we can show the outside and sort of take you through how the general design language is, and you can see it. You can see the big Skoda grille, you can see the little bulge in the front here, which is the badge, the bulge in the front, and then of course the split headlamps and the daytime running light sort of setup, which of course is very, very common on a lot of sub 4 meter SUVs, a lot of SUVs in general, a lot of cars in general in this day and age. You also have things like a 17-inch wheel, which will come standard on the top spec version, which is great because the Slavia still doesn't come with a 17. Even the Monte Carlo doesn't come with a 17. That is a big miss, as we've mentioned. But essentially, this basically underneath all of this is the same as the Kylaq. It's the MQB A0iN platform. So suspension, engine, gearbox will be all the same. Now engine and gearbox, I'm going to walk to this car and tell you all about it. Engine and gearbox, 1 liter turbo as you get on the base model Kylaq, Slavia, Virtus, Taigun, and the manual or the automatic gearbox option. Tail lights completely undisguised, so we can talk about that maybe a little bit. Not exactly Skoda design language, because Skoda design language recently has been more horizontal, but this is a little bit more like, say, Nexter, a Venue, similar design trends, but overall it does have this sort of slight bulk which will help with this segment. That said, as I mentioned again, a bit of a spiritual successor to the Polo, because there might not be a VW version of this as is with the Slavia and the Kylaq. It's not yet confirmed all the way yet. Now this, of course, LED tail lamps with some LED elements. It is hiding a nice sunroof on the top. It's not a panoramic roof, and you have of course these roof rails which are very, very common in most cars, and you still have drum brakes in the rear, no discs at the back. Now there's one more thing that I want to talk about before I actually go start driving the car, because the whole point of this event today is a little bit of a short drive. So the 1 liter turbo, right? A couple of advantages of having that over the 1.5. First, that engine is tunable. You can actually tune it up to a decent horsepower figure, even more than what the 1.5 gets. And we know for a fact the suspension on this car, the sort of main struts and springs are same as the Kylaq and the Taigun. So if people do actually want to buy a small little runabout and they want to tune it up, perfect little example right there. For now though, Skoda Kylaq, tell me what you think of the name and tell me what you think of the basic dimension. Again, 2566 mm of wheelbase as well. Overall though, as I said, this is going to be exciting to look at, but also typically restrained in Skoda fashion. Now, while normally you see me drive and speak to the camera at the same time, Skoda did not let us mount a camera inside, as it was, you guessed it, embargoed. So I'm going to very briefly tell you here what it felt like. Firstly, we drove it on a track, as you can see with all this footage, not on a road, and that hides various aspects while accentuating some. So I can tell you that the 1 liter engine is still a brilliant engine. The best 1 liter turbo there is in my opinion, and both the manual and automatic torque converter also function exactly how you would expect it to. Now while they don't have the urgency that the Polo had, it does drive very, very similar to the Kylaq 1 liter, albeit slightly softer in almost all aspects. In fact, the weight difference between the two is just under 40 kilos, and that is negligible. That said, this will be a new benchmark in dynamic conditions in this segment by a long margin. And that is a good thing. We can also tell you that all the engineers we spoke to hinted at a confirmed 5-star crash rating on this. And that too is expected from the VW group today in India. So let's talk about rear seat and comfort in general. As I said, it is slightly softer than the Kylaq, and rear seat and front passenger seat comfort on a small rough road patch was good. But all of these control tests are, in my opinion, kind of meaningless, because I want to drive it on a real road, in real conditions, to tell you what I really think. And that I think will probably be in the later part of the year, or maybe even next year. So there you go, a quick look at the new Kylaq from Skoda, the VW Group's very delayed and, hear this carefully, restrained entrant into the sub 4 meter SUV space. Tell us what you think of the car in the comment section below, and as always, remember, be respectful, and of course I will respond to almost every comment you put out there. See you guys in the comments.